The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story. Inspired by the book of Daniel. Chapter 1.
Daniel was only a very young man when King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon conquered the land of Judah. Nebuchadnezzar made sure that God's people wouldn't rebel by taking Daniel and other young men from royal families in Judah and marching them back to Babylon with him.
Will we ever see our home again?
Daniel's friends were just as scared and confused as he was.
Where will we live? What will he do to us? I sure hope the food is decent.
Daniel tried to reassure them as the imposing city gates rose ahead.
God will be with us, whatever happens.
The king chose the brightest and best young men from Judah and ordered that they receive special training.
After 3 years, you will get to be very important and serve me.
The chief official Ashpenaz took charge of Daniel and his friends.
Tut tut. Those wishy-washy Hebrew names just won't do. You need new ones.
New what?
Names. Let's see. Daniel, we'll call you Belteshazzar. And you three will be Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Are those names, or is he just sneezing?
You'll learn our language, of course. And all the Babylonian writings?
Daniel's heart sank as he realized what was happening. The king wanted Daniel and his friends to forget they were God's people. He wanted them to become Babylonians. But Abednego was worried about something else.
Hey, I'm about to starve. Any way we can get a bite to eat?
Right this way.
Ashpenaz led Daniel and his friends to a big table set with mouth-watering foods.
Steak.
Or those Babylonian buffalo bites.
The cake's got at least 9 layers.
Only the best, straight from the king's table.
Oh, the food smelled delicious. But Daniel pulled his friends aside.
Guys, if this food is from the king's table, that means it's been offered to false gods first.
Uh-oh.
Not good.
Our new names and training are one thing, but if we eat this food, it's like we're saying we're okay with false gods.
But we gotta eat something, man.
We can ask for different food, simple stuff that hasn't been offered to the false gods.
But that chocolate cake. Abednego. Okay.
Daniel and his friends turned back to Ashpenaz. They tried to ignore the delicious smells wafting from the table.
This all looks great, but could we eat something that's not from the king's table? It doesn't need to be anything fancy.
The king is my master. He's decided what you must eat and drink. What if you don't eat this and he sees you looking worse than the other young men? He might kill me.
No matter what Daniel said, Ashpenaz was too fearful to listen, so Daniel approached the guard assigned to take care of them.
Please, just test us for 10 days. Give us nothing but vegetables to eat and water to drink. See how we look then.
Well, if Brussels sprouts are your thing.
For 10 days, the guards gave Daniel and his friends nothing to eat but veggies and water.
I could get into the habit of cabbage.
I like broccoli, probably.
Pass the peas, if you please.
I just want a hamburger.
Let me tell you, it wasn't easy to say no to all those delicious foods the other young men got to eat. But at the end of 10 days, the guard called everybody out.
Line 'em up.
He strode past the other young men.
Good. I can see you've been eating well.
When the guard reached Daniel and his friends, he stopped in surprise.
What? You've been eating rabbit food, but you look even better fed than the others.
Daniel smiled. God had helped them grow strong even without eating the food offered to false gods.
Okay, fine. You can keep eating veggies and water.
Rats?
Thank you.
God continued to give Daniel and his friends knowledge and understanding as they studied, and at the end of their training, they were brought before the king.
Let's see what you know. How many inches in a meter?
39.3701.
What do you call a group of porcupines?
A prickle.
If it takes 8 men 10 hours to build a wall, how long would it take 4 men?
No time at all, because the wall's already built.
How are you all so smart?
The one true God gives us wisdom.
Well, we'll see about that. Anyhow, you're 10 times smarter than my other advisors. You get to be very important and serve me.
Daniel and his friends eventually became the king's most trusted advisors, and even though they served the king of Babylon, they never stopped standing strong for the one true God in everything they said and did.